Hi, I'm Lionel Lee. What do you do in lockdown if you need a new laptop, a microwave or a heater and you need it soon? Contactless click and collect, ready in 30 minutes at Bingley. Just go to bingley.com.au and find your nearest click and collect location. We'll email you when your order is ready, then just call the store when you get there and we can even load your car. It's easy, safe and fast. Contactless click and collect in 30 minutes at Bingley. And we're offering customers same-day delivery in selected areas of Sydney. Conditions apply.
Well, I know things appear a little bit helpless right now. We've just had a record 633 cases in a single day in New South Wales. And 2 months in, the lockdown isn't working as intended. But perhaps it's time for some perspective. There have been 9,280 cases in this entire outbreak. That's 0.1% of the New South Wales population. So in a state of 8.1 million people, 99.9% of us have not had COVID. So that's worth remembering, first of all, when you hear people say it's a horror day of numbers. Look, the numbers aren't good. We acknowledge that. And there's a strong chance they're going to get higher. There's an epidemiologist who advises the federal government who's tipping we could go to 2,000 cases a day within a month. His name is Professor James McCaw. He says our models show the possibilities of increases and decreases, but I think it's more likely to be well over 1,000 and up to 2,000 within a month or so. But focusing on case numbers instead of hospitalisations and deaths is always going to paint a darker picture. Of all the active cases in Australia at the moment, 95% are mild. 95% are mild. 5% require hospitalisation, and 1% of that 5% are in intensive care. These are the facts. We don't share them with you to downplay the seriousness of the virus. The only motivation is to paint the full picture and to offer some reassurance amongst all the horror stories. So let's crunch some more numbers here. Out of the 9,280 cases in New South Wales related to this outbreak of the Delta strain, 60 people have sadly died. So that makes the survival rate 99.4%. Every death is tragic, and we're now seeing more younger Australians catching COVID. But overwhelmingly, the fatalities involve older Australians. Since the start of the pandemic, 970 people have died in Australia. 92% of deaths have been in the over 70s. 75% are aged over 80. Now, average life expectancy in Australia is 82 years of age. Most of them are not killed by COVID. While we've lost 60 people from coronavirus in the last 2 months, have a listen to how many Australians have lost their lives because of something else. And these figures are based on causes of death from the Bureau of Statistics. And again, we're not downplaying the seriousness of the virus, and every single one of those 60 people who've passed away, they've all got their own story. They've all got loved ones, all got family members, and they are missed and will be missed. But in the last 2 months, 8,300 Australians would have died from cancer. 60 Aussies have died from COVID. About 3,000 would have sadly lost their lives to heart disease in the last 2 months. 2,500 with dementia. 500 committing suicide. That's all in the same period where coronavirus has killed 60 people. And we know it's contagious. We know it runs around the joint like wildfire. And the other conditions I've mentioned there, heart disease, dementia, well, they're not contagious. But perspective is important. In 2017, more than 1,200 Australians died from the flu. There were 900 flu deaths in 2019. 17 passed away on a single day just in South Australia. So let's not lose our heads here. We're doing everything we can to keep people alive, but people die every single day. About 465 of us every day pass away in Australia. And let me just repeat, in the 2 months that coronavirus has claimed 60 lives, more than 11,000 Australians have died from cancer and heart disease. So just cancer and heart disease, 11,000 in the last 2 months. Coronavirus, 60 in the last 2 months. So that's the bigger picture. And all of these lives matter. And now the government is under pressure to go harder to bring COVID case numbers down. Truth be told, the majority of the cases are coming from two areas. They're coming from Western Sydney and Southwestern Sydney. 550 of the 633 cases yesterday. So if they're going to go harder, they may need to put more police in those areas because that's where the message is not getting through. And people need to know there are police all over the place. And if you're not following the rules, well, you're going to be in trouble. They're handing out $5,000 fines. That may be confronting for some people in those parts of Sydney, but the numbers don't lie. On the numbers, let's get excited about these numbers. Vaccine numbers. We are flying. 200 jabs per minute. We're about to reach a milestone in the next 24 hours. Almost 1 in 2 Aussies over 16 have now had their first jab. If the current rate continues, we'll hit the target of 80% fully vaccinated in just 4 weeks. So, as they said during World War II, keep calm and carry on.
Hi, I'm Lionel Lee. What do you do in lockdown if you need a new laptop, a microwave or a heater and you need it soon? Contactless click and collect, ready in 30 minutes at Bingley. Just go to bingley.com.au and find your nearest click and collect location. We'll email you when your order is ready, then just call the store when you get there and we can even load your car. It's easy, safe and fast. Contactless click and collect in 30 minutes at Bingley. And we're offering customers same day delivery in selected areas of Sydney. Conditions apply.